the Rapid Blaster Pro, and, whoa, there we go. Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimming Bird, and welcome to Splatoon. The big 2.8 update is out, bringing a bunch of weapon buffs, a few nerfs, and some bug fixes. But on top of that, Sheldon's Picks Volume 2 is finally here as well, giving us 9 sets to purchase and play around with, 5 of which have unique sub and special combinations not found anywhere else. Here's a quick look, but Sheldon's going to give us the full rundown in just a second. Also, we have 2 new pieces of gear, the CoroCoro cap and CoroCoro hoodie, and I think these are going to be popular. The cap has a damage up main ability, and the hoodie has cold-blooded. Now what's interesting is both of them are Zeko brand, so you're 5 times as likely to get special saver on these things, and less likely to get special charge up. I kind of think this is an addition to the special reduction that we got a few updates back, where some weapons lose more of their special. Giving 2 pieces of gear with popular main abilities the ability to keep more of your special, I think is kind of a way to balance that out a little bit. So we're gonna jump into some matches, and I'll talk about all the changes while we use the first of these new weapons. But before we head to Ammo Nights, I do want to go a little bit over in Booyah Base. We're gonna go to Jelly Fresh, I think is the clothing store, and cross my fingers. Did we get the hoodie? Most likely not. Oh, it is there. Oh, nice. Okay. I don't know if there's a higher, I don't even remember this shirt. I don't even know if there's a higher chance to get it, but here it is, and it looks great. Got the little weird burnt dragon CoroCoro logo on there. I'm gonna buy that. And did we also get the cap? It's here as well. Okay, they must have an increased chance of showing up. There is the CoroCoro cap. I'm gonna buy that too. All right, so let's head to Sheldon's, and he's gonna talk a lot, but we'll get to see all of the different set combinations for you guys. Here we go. Look at them all. Jeez. Excuse me. I gotta get my voice ready. You're looking fairly fresh. Yes, I think you have what it takes to wield my Sploosh-o-matic 7. Go on, give it a try. The Sploosh-o-matic 7 retains the stats of the original model while adding more strategic options. Splat bombs combined with an Inkzooka enable you to pressure opponents at both middle and long range, so the same set as the Octobrush Nouveau. In fact, this weapon has so many uses, I bet it could even make your bed or do your laundry. Not a guarantee. Anyway, I have a lot of new stuff to show you, so let's get cracking. And that's not all, you're also ready to wield the Aerospray PG. The Aerospray PG is a little update to the Aerospray MG that I built from my grandpappy's blueprints, so you're gonna need to have beaten the third boss in single player mode to get this as well. It's a handcrafted work of art, but if I do say so myself, I really put a lot of love into it. The burst bombs let you control your opponent's movements before smashing into them with the Kraken, rated PG for severe splattings. And that's not all, we've got the N-ZAP 83. It's an N-ZAP 85 that I've modified to faithfully recreate a classic limited edition piece. It's so faithful, in fact, that the buttons might stick a bit sometimes, but that's all part of the charm, yes? The point sensor and Kraken make for a set that is handy for cutting off your opponent's advances. That's if your opponent's trying to go on a date with you. The Grim Range Blaster is a range blaster pushed to its limits. It's totally metal, or so I'm assured. The black and green flame design is for squids who want their look to be as aggressive as their weapon. The main works just like a range blaster, but the new burst bombs really amp up the splat speed of this set, and the impressive range of the killer Wail also adds a lot. Try this set out if you think you have a good feel for the range of a blaster type weapon. And that's not all, we have the Cherry H3 Nozzlenose. It's an entry-level H3 Nozzlenose designed with user-friendliness in mind. It's super cute with its fruity color scheme and cherry-themed sticker. It's got the Splash Wall, which lets you halt the enemy and pick them off at your leisure. With a bubbler as the special, this set suits those who believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got the CoroCoro Splat Roller. It's decorated with a cool logo I found inscribed on some ancient writings. It has a new hollow titanium frame, ball bearing joints, steering dampers, super stabilizers, pretty much the same still though. So many new parts in fact that it's kinda came full circle. The specs ended up identical to the Splat Roller. But this is the first roller set with a splash wall, and I also threw in an Inkzooka because why not? Everyone loves the Inkzooka. And then we have the Bento Splat Charger. It features some weird green stuff I found washed up on a beach. I think it's cool. It's basically the same as the regular Splat Charger, but I've amped up the defense with a splash wall. The Echolocator makes this set perfect for carrying souls who love to support their teammates or people who just want to know exactly where someone is to snipe them. Then we also have the Bento Splatterscope. It's a Splat Charger with a scope added for long-range sniping. This set suits passive-aggressive squids who like to pick off opponents from a distance. Blammo! And last but not least, the Heavy Splatling Remix. It's a remix version of the Heavy Splatling with very similar capabilities. You'll find the Sprinkler and main weapon charge up the Killer Wail in no time at all. This set is perfect for a battlefield artiste who loves to set the tempo of an engagement. All right, and we are going to start. There they all are. We're going to start with the Sploosh-o-matic 7. Are you guys ready to witness the technological state-of-the-art powerhouse that's only possible when you glue a funnel onto an ink pen? Here we go. Now, this set, I'm guessing, is going to be popular. The Sploosh-o-matic, very popular, especially among Japanese players. It has a lightning-fast, short-range shot that you can basically just almost roll around where you're putting a stream of ink in front of you so fast that you can put a little swim speed up on this thing and just zip all over the map. So you pretty much have close range covered. And then for mid-range, there's the Splat Bombs, and of course the Inkzooka is scary at long range. So it's got all the bases covered for the most part. I don't know how it will do in tower control, especially with me holding it. I'm a little rusty. We just had that tournament recently, but I haven't really played since then. But trial by fire. We're going into ranked mode, and we're trying our best. So let's get into the changes here. I turned around, but was not fast enough for that roller. So first up, the special gauge reduction. That has changed for a few weapons, and this is something that was added in a few updates ago, where when you respawn, you lose a certain amount of your special charge based on what weapon you're using. So the Luna Blaster has been changed to low reduction, so you only lose 40% of your special meter instead of the 60. This is the normal Luna Blaster, not the very popular Neo that has the Splat Bomb Rush. That's still the same. And then the Zinc Mini Splatling was nerfed. You lose 75% of your special meter when you die with that one. That's the one with the bubbler, I believe, and it's really popular, instead of the 60, so you're losing 75%. And then last but not least of these, the refurbished Mini Splatling has been changed to low reduction as well, so you only lose 40% of your meter. That's the new one that we just got last time with the Burst Bomb Rush. So main weapon adjustments, they have buffed a ton of the weapons in here, and there's no nerfs, it's only buffs this time. So first up, the Aerospray MG and the Aerospray RG, their spread has been reduced when you're jumping, so it's the same as when the player's not jumping. So your shots are gonna be just as accurate when you're jumping in the air. They won't spread as much. That could kind of be considered a nerf, I guess, a little bit in Turf Wars because you won't get as much of a spread, but it's gonna make it so the Aerospray can splat a little faster. The Rapid Blaster and the Rapid Blaster Deco, your movement speed when firing is increased by about 12%, so should help out those less popular blasters. The Rapid Blaster Pro and, whoa, there we go. The Rapid Blaster Pro Deco both have a movement speed increase of 15%, so a little bit more than the normal Rapid Blasters. The L3 Nozzlenose and L3 Nozzlenose D, their damage to the Rainmaker shield has increased by about 20%, which is kind of a strange buff, but still helpful. And the H3 Nozzlenose and H3 Nozzlenose D, similar buff, but 40% more damage to the Rainmaker shield, so those should be better in Rainmaker mode. The Sloshy Machine and Sloshy Machine Neo, these are two weapons that I was really hoping to get buffs for because I know they're kind of lacking, especially after the normal Slosher buff that we got with 2.7. The buff for this is your movement speed when firing increased by about 11%, so very slight, but should be able to strafe around a little bit more. I still think the Sloshy Machine doesn't really have a good advantage over the normal Slosher because the range is only slightly longer and you have to do that real accurate, blaster shot, pinpoint accuracy to get those splats. So hopefully they'll keep balancing stuff, and we do know there's probably going to be a patch here soon after this, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Now, this is my favorite buff, and if you're a brush user, you might like this as well. The Ink Brush Nouveau, Permanent Ink Brush, Octobrush, and Octobrush Nouveau, all 5 of the brushes. Now, when you, starting on the second swing, you will paint the ink under your feet. So finally, you'll be able to swing it more than once and start getting that ink underneath you and get to swimming immediately. This is a huge buff and should not be underestimated because it's going to make the brushes a lot more mobile and make sure that you're covering ink wherever you are rather than leaving a few spots in front of you or underneath you, rather. So I'm really happy about that. I can't wait to take my brushes for a spin when we're done with these new weapons. Now, as far as sub-weapons, the only change to those was the ink mine. They reduced the distance the players move backwards when you place an ink mine. So kind of like a beacon, you get like moved out of the way a little bit by placing it down, because it does take like a physical spot in the world. So they did reduce that a little bit, so you won't get pushed around. I think it might help with this mode especially, because you might get pushed off the tower on accident with those mines. I think we're gonna take this one despite, whoa, me getting rolled over by that Krak-on. But I think we got it in the bag. And we're going to go into the rest of the changes here in this next match. But let's finish this up, and hopefully we will win. Uh-oh, this is going to be rough. They're going crazy with the bombs. Oh, jeez. Can we take it? I'm going to try to hang back enough to get these guys and just jump up there. There we go. All right, I think I got it, and we're good. Okay. And I mentioned, sorry, I got a little wrapped up in the battle. I mentioned we're probably going to get another patch here pretty soon, because they have not put in some of the data for the amiibos that are upcoming next month, as well as some of the new Splatfest placeholder shirts. So we should get an update soon. Let's jump into another match. Before I speculate too much about the next patch, let's focus on the rest of the changes from this one. So there were really only 2 nerfs in 2.8, but this is the one that I think is going to make most players very happy or very sad. The stealth jump shoe ability has been hit pretty hard. So in the past, I'm sure a lot of you have encountered this, especially on tower control. You get players who stack a ton of quick respawn, quick super jump, stealth jump. They use beacons, a bunch of different ways to keep daisy chaining those jumps and getting back onto the tower before the opponents can do much about it. But with stealth jump, a lot of players, especially rollers, would get that flick going as they super jump, and before they land, they're just ready to, wipe out anyone on the tower or roll them up. But in 2.8, if you have stealth jump, when you're doing a super jump with this ability equipped, you can't perform any attacks until you have completely landed. So this is a major nerf, and I think it's going to be pretty controversial. Now, I never really used stealth jump, but I know a lot of people like this strategy. I think it's probably a frustrating enough strategy where most people are going to agree that they're glad that they fixed it. But in the past, stealth jump has already been nerfed a little bit. Same with Ninja Squid. With Ninja Squid, you have that 10% reduced swim speed when you are wearing that one. And then with stealth jump, you have, I think it's 10 or 15% less super jump speed. But on top of it now, you have to worry about not being able to attack. It's only, a slight little nerf, but it could have a big effect on ranked play. So we'll have to see in the long run. I know there's going to be people frustrated about that, but it always felt like one of those sneaky strategies, because unless you're really looking up into the sky, if somebody's going to stealth jump in on you, it's hard to know to really even do anything to retaliate. I guess that's the point. It's kind of like Ninja Squid, where they're being sneaky and they get the splat because of that. But at the same time, I think for most people it was a source of frustration, so they changed it around a little bit. Maybe if we're getting enough feedback that a lot of people don't like it, they could change it again. I haven't really seen them go back too much on any of the changes. For the most part, they stick to them. But like I mentioned, we'll probably get another patch here very soon, and hopefully more balance adjustments, maybe some secret stuff as well. This is probably going to be the last of the weapons, though. So as far as stage changes, they did some adjustments. Arowana Mall, they now prevent players from taking certain shortcuts in all modes. And I think this is in response to that one out-of-bounds glitch I saw where you can kind of phase into the shop windows where the jellyfish are hanging out and just kind of go hang out and chill with them, which is not good. A lot of these are out-of-bounds fixes that they had to get rid of to make the game not weird and glitchy. And then Bluefin Depot, they fixed a problem where players could go inside a certain object in Rainmaker mode. In Piranha Pit, they also did adjustments to prevent players from taking certain shortcuts in all modes and getting into areas they're not supposed to be able to. And then Camp Triggerfish, they adjusted how it detects whether you've brought the Rainmaker too far back towards your own starting area. So if you're trying to stall, talk about stalling, I got stuck on that wall and couldn't get out of the way. So if you are trying to bring the Rainmaker back, if you got a lead, that's a pretty popular strategy to kind of take the Rainmaker back or into a spot where your opponent can't get it. But there is that explosive timer that can take you out if you hold on to it too long or go into the wrong area. So there are some adjustments to that. And then also they fixed an issue where players could jump higher than usual by touching an opponent's splash wall, and I never witnessed that myself that I know of, but that sounds pretty fun. That has been fixed, and last but not least, they made adjustments to make for a more enjoyable gaming experience, as is the Nintendo way. So that is it for 2.8. We are going to keep playing and do an episode for each of Sheldon's picks, Volume 2. I'm excited to use a lot of them. Some of them a little apprehensive. I need to do some practice with chargers if I'm going to use the Bento Splat charger and Bento Splatterscope. And a lot of these weapons have some nice little cool Easter eggs about them that we'll go into. Next time, we have the Aerospray PG, the copper bronze version of the other Aerosprays. And remember, if you want to use it, you're going to need to play single player at least to the third boss. And then same with the Tempered Dynamo Roller from last set. If you want to use that, you have to unlock the Dynamo Roller from beating DJ Octavio. Okay, I don't think we're going to win this one, but I'm going to keep fighting. Oh, geez. Where did they go? They're all up in our spawn. If we can really take the tower, we might be able to push this into overtime, but I'm apprehensive about it. There we go. All right, go, 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 go. They have a lot of rollers, it seems like, or at least their rollers are good at getting us. I'm going to keep practicing with the new weapons. Hopefully they'll prove to be really nice, and the Aerospray having that Kraken, I'm looking forward to that, as well as the burst bombs, which changed a little bit last time. Speaking of Krakens, go, Kraken, go! I can't get on! Ah! I was CoroCoro'd. Oh no! There's a nice look at the new roller as it splat down on my head. I don't think I'm going to make it in time, and it looks like I'm going to bang that shiny new Sploosh-o-matic 7 into the ground. I can already hear Sheldon being like, no, you're going to compromise the integrity of the funnel, and it won't have the right trajectory. Thank you guys so much for watching. There he goes. You just bought that. You little stinker. All right, thanks for watching again. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this. I'll see you next time for more Splatoon, where we take the Aerospray PG for a test drive in ranked mode. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.